your eyes on me. Keep your eyes on me. Keep your eyes on me. Keep your eyes on me. Bello on the bello on the
Yo, what's going on? It's Jay. This is Lit Logic. We are on episode 60. 60. So, I'm gonna let you explain the topic since this is, your episode idea.
Well, before we get into that, we got a returning guest. Want to give a shout out?
Yeah, it's been a while.
It's been a minute, but we're back, people. We are back.
It's been a minute since we've had a guest.
Like, how many episodes?
It's been like 7 episodes.
I feel like it's been longer.
Yeah, it's been like 7 or 8.
20.
Nah, ain't even
20 episodes.
That's not gas now.
It's been 20 episodes. Not saying something.
He's lying. But anyway, we have Kay here.
Hi, guys.
Y'all remember her name. It's been a while. So, the topic. What are we talking about?
The topic that we're talking about today is boundaries and self-worth.
So when we say boundaries, you talking about boundaries like in a relationship?
Yeah.
All right.
Boundaries in relationships, self-worth, because they both equal each other out. Because you gotta have boundaries to let a person know your self-worth, but you also gotta know your self-worth to set boundaries. So
I guess that can go into.
Yeah,
All right, so let's just kick it off.
it's okay. What is your boundaries? What is your boundaries you like to set? Like from the beginning of it. Like, do you even set boundaries from the talking stage? Or you set boundaries when y'all get into it?
Quick thing before you answer that, is there a talking stage anymore? Because
I feel like
I'm seeing now that a lot of people are trying to skip over the talking phase.
And you see a lot of people be crashing and burning because you don't get to know the person that you're with.
There should for sure still
Motherfuckers be in the bed with Michael Myers.
For sure, there should definitely be a talking stage still, because it's like now within like the dating world, it's like you see like that infamous meme, and it's like we go from chatting on the app, we go from chatting for 2 days via text message. Next thing I know, I hit and smash, and next thing you know, your phone number is deleted. Like
that 2 days, motherfuckers be in love, and
you missed the whole like getting to know somebody phase. So there definitely should not be skipping the I'm talking to this person stage.
Some people were saying that, not to get too off topic, but some people were saying that that
there is no talking stage.
They're saying they're over the talking stage because they're tired of going through the whole notion of getting to know somebody, do all that stuff for it to not work out.
Guess what? You're gonna keep finding the same. You're gonna keep putting yourself back in the same predicament by having to talk to a new person because you don't want to do the talking stage. Like there's no shortcuts. Like I try to tell people, there's no shortcuts to getting to know somebody. Like look, you get to know somebody.
Back to what you were saying about the boundaries.
You said boundaries before I start?
Do
I set boundaries?
Yeah, like do you set boundaries in the talking stage, or like when you're getting like more serious and leading towards?
Where I'm at personally right now, I like want to actually like date somebody and get to know somebody. So girls, they can easily decipher if this is somebody that I need to take seriously, or this is somebody that's just around for fun. So once you decipher that, that's when you can set boundaries. When you just having fun with somebody, like y'all just kicking it. You trying to take it on a more like serious note of getting to know somebody, like setting boundaries for. I don't even know if this is really like setting boundaries. Like I know my worth and how I want to be treated. So whenever the time comes where I feel like I'm not getting treated with respect, if I feel like I'm not getting treated in a such way where if I'm having a conversation with you and I feel like you're not listening to what I'm saying or it's not being reciprocated, whether it's on his end or on my end, boundaries in the sense of how dating should actually be. I feel like people have lost the art of dating. So I already have gonna say boundaries. We're gonna say standards. We're gonna say standards when it comes to dating. But for sure, boundaries in the fact of how I want to be treated and how to speak to me on a day-to-day basis. For sure. Yeah.
Well, you said something about somebody that's just having fun. I think that even if you're with somebody that you're just having fun with,
You should for sure have boundaries.
There's got to be boundaries with that too.
Yeah.
You did bring a good question up. How did for like the females out there,
Okay.
or and then some guys, that's probably, how do you determine which person you want to set that boundary? Because you say there's people, the fun, and then there's that person you set the boundary. How do you know for yourself
the difference between the two type of people? If you know that this person is just around for games, or if you know this person around is to take you seriously, like
how do you determine that?
You just.
I'm trying to think of like.
No, I know how I determine it, but everybody has like a
determine it
different.
off the vibe.
Yeah, like I said.
Okay, for instance, here we go, right off the rip. If I exchange phone numbers with a guy, let's say if I meet him out, we're having great conversation. Within this great conversation, not one time was there ever a sexual comment? Was there ever a time where he might have touched my arm or touched my thigh? If it's just regular interaction, okay, great, it was regular interaction. Once we push over to me and you exchanging phone numbers, once we exchange phone numbers and all of the text messages that are coming into my phone or are within a sexual being, or we're turning into something where it doesn't need to be turned into, that's when I know right then and there your mind is only on one track. This is how you're going to be treated. This is how it's going to go, A, B, and C, or D. If that's not the vibe that y'all on and you guys have exchanged phone numbers and he's actually trying to get to know you or she's trying to get to know you, then you know that you are supposed to take that person seriously, and that's when you determine how you want to be treated at that time. Because if y'all just out here having fun, go on and get slutted out, sis. Go on and get slutted out, bro. But like, if you really out here trying to take somebody seriously, that's when you know you need to set the boundaries. Like you said, even setting boundaries when you are having fun. But there's definitely a way to determine between.
I don't feel like having fun. That's not even a boundary set. It's just rules.
It's rules. It's rules. Shit,
no, there's a difference between rules and boundaries.
Rules and boundaries.
There's a difference between rules and boundaries.
Rules is the same. And boundaries is the same thing, man. Some people don't respect the boundaries.
And then those people
listen. You sit there and have conversations with these people. Like,
they hear what they want to hear.
This is all this is going to be. And they hear that, but that's not.
That's not what they're really
not going to accept that.
They're jumping over the line that you set after boundaries. And they're like, I heard what she said, but we're gonna just.
They're on that Denzel shit. I don't accept that. I don't accept that. Oh man.
Well, Brandon, you're single. Do you have boundaries when it comes to like getting to know somebody and dating them?
That nigga ain't single.
Yeah, I'm actually talking to somebody.
Okay, but you're still single though. That's a fact.
I'm still talking.
You're still single. You're talking to somebody. But
I'm dating. I'm dating.
Okay. Is she calling you dating?
Yeah.
Okay, facts.
Dating. Mm-hmm. But with me, I would like to say, with me, I'm like the same way. Like from the get-go, I can determine who like.
Right.
And then on top of that, it's I kind of do set a boundary, and I tell people I don't even get mad. I tell people like, look, this is what I like. This is what I don't like. You can choose to fuck with it
or not.
Yeah, because I tell a person like I enjoy being by myself. I love my alone time, love my me time. I have fun with just me. So me not talking to you doesn't bother me. So that's why I don't say it in that way, but it kind of, so if it's not like you're going to not follow, but it's like if you're not going to add peace to what I'm trying to do.
Actually, I completely agree. Because if you're saying like, if that's the way that you set boundaries, then okay, I feel like that's the same way how I set boundaries. Like if I come across a guy, I'm like, okay, this is what I'm looking for. This is what I want. If you cannot provide this, feel free to move on.
Because I feel like people, they analyze people when they do a mental check. I feel like they do. When a person walk, I feel like they do a mental check. I feel like females do it the most.
Yeah.
It was like tall, check.
I need you at least my height. You gotta at least be my height to ride this ride, okay? I'm just saying.
Shout out to all the short niggas, man.
At least.
Because
You really, truly gotta be fired for me to talk to you.
Shout out to the short niggas that get overlooked because they just
man, shut up. Can't nobody be 6'6". Can't nobody be 6'6".
They're a good person. They're a good person
this
for you.
This is what I'm saying. You gotta be fired.
They come with all the,
fired.
Just because you 5'7", you just ain't gonna make the list.
You gotta be fired.
It's crazy some people be on that though.
They can't fucking help it.
Hey, listen.
Who can help how tall they are?
Hey, listen. They can't
help
help it.
It's some people that can't how tall people are.
No, I said that can't help. They can't help it. I'm about to say, you can help how tall you are. Shit, I would have been 6'4".
Even though I'm not short, I'm speaking out for y'all because I think it's fucked up.
It is
y'all
fucked
get
up.
Looked over just because of y'all height.
It is.
Some of y'all is, great people.
I'm with y'all, man. Shout out to the short people.
I'm sure it's the
Shout out
same.
to my homie Quan, man.
Same thing for girls with the small butts. Same scenario.
With the little booties matter movement.
Little booties matter. Every man with a big ass. She ain't got a big ass. He overlooking her. Okay. She got a great personality. She got things going for her.
But see, that's the difference. That's the difference between what people are looking.
I think short dudes get looked over.
Way more absolutely.
Than women with little butts.
Absolutely.
You're absolutely right. But
wow.
It's crazy though. It's
You're
fucking wild.
absolutely right.
Nigga look at a girl with a little butt.
It's on the same level here.
It's alright. They're gonna still beat the bottom out, so it don't even matter. He gonna still beat the bottom out, so it don't even matter.
You know what?
But that short guy, he can be great, but he's too short.
Is that really like a boundary? People be like, yeah, short, can't do it.
No. You
heard shit, you gotta be fired from see.
You gotta have my credentials if you gotta be a little bit shorter than me. That's all I'm saying.
Hey man, I've seen a lot of people, not a lot of people, but I've seen some people in relationships with people that are shorter, and everything working out cool.
If it work out, it work out.
It works. See? Some of y'all can be getting engaged, but y'all overlooking short niggas. I'm talking like I am a short nigga.
Man, fuck you.
Out here.
Yeah, man.
I'm the tallest nigga around. I gotta be talking like one of them short niggas, but
Don't worry, man. I got y'all back, man.
No, that nigga ain't short.
It's crazy.
Oh man.
I look short sitting down.
I guess everybody.
No, you look tall sitting down.
I don't know. I don't pay much more.
Shout out to 6'6" niggas.
There you go.
I get 2 claps. Back to this topic. What about you, man? Boundaries. Like, what is some boundaries you like to set from first of all, do you even believe in the talking stage when you was, dating?
Well, when I was dating, I always believed in, talking stage. So you gotta, if you want to be serious with somebody, you obviously got to get to know them. So you got to go through that whole process and stuff, but you got to. You gotta get over the fear of wasting your time. You're gonna waste your time. You're gonna waste your time with somebody. It happens. So just chuck it up as a loss and just move on. Some people just don't want to, get involved with that. But boundaries I used to set when I was in the dating scene was, obviously you gotta meet certain credentials. But you just can't do wild shit. Like, there was some chicks that just would be crossing boundaries with me in the talking stage and we acting like we in a relationship.
That's a no.
I'm just like, listen, you doing too much right now. It's only been a couple weeks. Like, you don't need to know all my whereabouts and what I'm doing all the time and all this other shit. So I had to cut it off with one chick because she was doing too much of that. You overstepping the boundaries. Like, listen, you got to get to that part first, but I don't like being
told what to do right off the rip. Like,
yeah,
bitch, I don't even know you.
I'm like, listen, we cool and all, but you was doing too much at that point. Like, asking where I'm at and why I didn't tell you this, and I'm like, whoa.
I ain't never had nobody say no shit like that to me. Thank God.
I'm like, we 2 weeks strong into this. This is
These niggas said 2 weeks
strong.
2 weeks.
We was 2 weeks strong. We was 2 weeks strong, bro. It was some wild. Let me tell you y'all a story. So I was talking to this chick. She was older than me. So I was kind of wasn't expecting this. I'm like, she's older, so
You would just think they know
she's
better.
a little bit more
Yeah,
mature and all
that's
that stuff, man.
Not true.
That's wrong.
I went over her house probably one night, chilled, hung up, had a good time. The next day I was going to a hockey game. She seen
shout out to the hockey fans.
she seen a post that, you know, my boy had taken a picture and tagged all of us. So she texted me, so at what point last night you was going to tell me you was going to the hockey game the next day? I'm like, what? I'm like, I wasn't thinking about the hockey game, but I didn't know how to get the okay from you first.
I just wanted to say, I'm
just like
to the females or the males that are anybody that is watching this, if you've been talking to somebody for 2 weeks, there's no reason for you to be knowing their whereabouts like this. Like, it's a chill, slow build up of a vibe. Like, maybe get to that stage when you're like really, really dating somebody, but like even then, if he wanted to, or she wanted to tell you the information, like they're going to tell you that. So the point of just asking when were you gonna tell me?
That's the key thing. When they want to tell you.
Exactly.
That's the thing. You have to wait.
My whole thing is this: like during that whole time I was older, what was I ever thinking about? Oh, I'm going to this hockey game tomorrow. About let her know.
Right, unless she was like, oh, so what are you doing for tomorrow? Then
I'm going.
That would have been your time to say that.
See, ladies and gentlemen, it doesn't hurt to ask questions. Closed mouths don't get fed. Ask a question.
Even if
just ask a question.
The thing that bothered me is she was acting like it was an issue that I was at the game. I'm just like, why?
No, because it was
like the way she was asking was like I was supposed to be doing something with her, but I'm at this game. Like. I'm like, oh, pump your brakes a little bit here. Like, yeah, man, but stuff like that is just so, like, no, like, you gotta have your stuff in check when you're dealing with certain people and stuff. You gotta let them know, like, hey, this ain't gonna work, this ain't okay, you can't, you know. Sometimes they either accept it or they just, you know, they just not gonna accept it. You know, they were like, all right, I think this isn't gonna work like how, you know, we're gonna have to do, you know, some audibles and stuff, move this around because this ain't gonna work. Now we gotta change how we gonna do this now. You went from a potential thing, you know, now you might just be a fun person.
Barely.
You gotta watch out for that too, because sometimes you have fun with people there, you know, you do that, and now all the craziness has come out.
You go to your house, like, this is where you live, huh?
You gonna do this to me?
Shout out to the stalkers out there, man.
Nah, hell no.
Nah, not shout out to y'all.
Fuck y'all.
Y'all weird.
Y'all crazy.
Weird as shit.
Get some help. Cause that ain't no people.
Oh, do we have a hotline number for that?
I don't know, but it should be.
Man, we can do the hotline thing under that.
It is gotta
edit it. I feel like we should edit that.
How many people gonna really realize,
look,
shit, I'm a stalker, let me get help. A lot of people don't even. It ain't me, it's them. Like, I don't think it's you.
You losing sleep.
Oh my god, that's something. I couldn't do that shit.
That's just too much. That's too much. Now, let's get to the self-worth.
Alright.
Self-worth. Okay, where do you think self-worth comes from? Because everybody, like, to me, I feel like everybody has like a different thing with like self-worth, in my opinion. Because I feel like people think self-worth is like what you wear or like what you can do, you know.
Yeah.
I think, you know, like the more of like the costly of what you can do for yourself instead of like the inner of what it is.
In my opinion, self-worth is for sure, it should only be your inner workings, not what is worn, not something that you purchase to make you look cool, because that's not your worth. That's what you bought and that's what you gained, but that's not what you are actually worth. Self-worth is for sure something that is to be built upon throughout the years. Self-worth can be taught at a young age with mother or father that's in the household, or another adult figure that you looked up to at the time that can be teaching you self-worth. But self-worth is something for sure that I worked on for a very long time. Like, you guys probably wouldn't even tell this off the bat, but like I was a very super duper shy kid at the, when I was younger. And my family, we were originally out in Brooklyn. I was born in Brooklyn and we moved out here to Jersey. And for some odd reason, my self-confidence like skyrocketed in the 5th grade. Don't ask me, like, I don't know if it's just like the change of environment, the people that I got introduced to, but self-worth in my household was taught to me at a very young age of how I'm supposed to be treated by certain people, whether it was my friends, whether it was somebody, a gentleman friend that I was attempting to get to know or dating. Even when you're in this stage of dating, I was taught self-worth at that time as well. I'm not really sure if that answered. I hope that answers your question.
No, I mean it did. It did. It did. That's actually good. I mean, yeah. I feel like self-worth is that, but I also feel like self-worth comes from trauma.
Oh, 1,000%. 1,000%.
You gotta learn from what you thought. You know,
learn from the mistakes.
Yeah, because
you know the ones that still keep making that same one.
Shout out to the ones that keep fucking up.
They keep dropping the ball, picking back up, dropping the ball.
Keep running into that wall.
Shout out to them fans. Keep throwing parties, yo. Y'all the real MVPs, man.
Stop dropping into that wall, man. The wall not coming down.
It's not.
No,
maybe the person can change. Nah, person piece of shit. Piece of shit before you, piece of shit after. But you just won't give up. Like something's gonna change. I just know it. It's not.
Yeah, I think it's either
that person gotta want to change.
Either taught, like how we're saying right now, like if a elder were to give you examples and be like, this is wrong, this is right, this is wrong, this is right, or like you said, via trauma. Like I had a girlfriend earlier this week said, oh yeah, by the way, I got back with the asshole. For the simple fact that she calls him an asshole, that should have given her enough reason not even backtrack.
She put the on
there. If somebody is already shit to begin with, believe that person. If somebody says, I am toxic, I don't know what the popularity with everybody saying I'm toxic or we're in a toxic relationship and think that shit is fucking cute. That shit is not fucking cute. It's not a wave.
It's a way to try to take responsibility away from the fact that, all right, I'm fucking up. Listen, look, oh, it's toxic, it's cool, it's not.
It's not cool.
No, it's
if
not
somebody's giving you red flags off the rip, it's going to be a red flag for the rest of the time being.
Mental strain is not cool.
Like, stop painting over people's red. People like to paint over people's true colors, and that's a problem with, I feel like, today's like generation. Not even gonna see.
You can't fix everybody.
You can't, and not everybody is like fixable unless they want to be fixed.
Exactly.
Just like I know one key thing for me, like when I like I said when I was dating, like when I look, for is when if a person like not say if a person says I'm toxic. So the person said, look, I did, I did stupid shit, but I'm working on it.
Right.
That's the key thing when somebody says, I'm working on it, then somebody sitting there saying, well, look, I'm toxic.
Right.
That it's a complete difference. But you know what? Nobody won't give that person a chance that sit there and say, I'm working on it. They'll keep going for the toxic person, which it just doesn't make sense. I don't understand it. You understand, Jeff?
No. That goes back to us talking about our dating trauma episode, the dating in today's society episode. All that stuff stems back to the stuff we talked about in there. It's just a full circle of just people just hurt, dealing with certain shit, whether it be relationship shit or family shit or whatever, how they grew up, and never taking the time to heal from it. So they just got all this stuff going on. They don't know how to deal with it. So they just deal with it how they feel, they see fit. And that ends up hurting certain people. And hurt people. And
it's crazy because people that go through those toxic trauma relationships, they don't never hurt the person that did it to them. They hurt the next person. And it's not just a normal person. They hurt the person that they see themselves in. So that's who they go for. Because that's who they can control.
Right.
In certain situations,
they go. Man, ain't nobody. When they get out of the toxic relationship, they not going to nobody that's going to be just like the asshole. They're going to be somebody that's like them, so they can do the same thing that person did to them or not.
Some people go straight to assholes. Yeah, that shit go on all the time. What? I had $1 for every time. I had to get relationship advice to someone who keep dealing with the same dumb shit over and over.
I don't even, after the second time, you on your own. Like, I'm not going to have conversation.
Younger me would always try to help people. But now I'm just like.
This conversation was like a girlfriend of mine, maybe like a couple weeks ago. I said, this is why you should not tell your friends everything that goes on within your private relationship, because if you are that friend that constantly is going on and on about my boyfriend's not shit, he's not doing this, I keep mentioning X, Y, and Z, and nothing is changing. So if you're gonna keep complaining to that same friend is gonna keep giving you the same advice, then after a while, that friend doesn't want to hear your shit anymore. Now, this friend doesn't care to hear what you have to say, 1. 2, this friend doesn't care for the ain't shit person that's in your life. So why go through the vicious cycle? I never understood the people that stayed with the assholes, the people that cheated on them,
It's
the
mental
people
illness.
that treat them like shit. Like, the real thing is, like, at what point do you build self-worth within the trauma? Because how long do you really stick in the fucking trauma? Like me,
When you get tired of when that person gets tired of it, but a lot of times that shit becomes like too late. Because you end up losing a whole bunch of weight, you end up looking like shit.
See, the thing is,
that's when they want to get
it's
out.
It's enough to get tired of it and then move on. You gotta sit there and heal. If you don't heal, you sit there and get in the same situation.
And healing, ladies and gentlemen, doesn't mean go into another relationship. Healing means take the time for yourself to realize what you actually want, not just out of a partner, but just out of life.
Learn yourself. Learn to love yourself.
Exactly. Learn what makes you happy. Like, and this is the crazy part.
Learn to love yourself.
Exactly. Because you can't love somebody else without loving yourself.
Once you start loving yourself, that'll start the whole, trickle down effect of everything else to get you right.
but I think this, like, that goes back to what I was saying before. Like, either self-worth is taught or that's something that has been earned. Like, loving yourself, everybody can't say that they love themselves. Like, that's
Absolutely
a hard shit to work on.
You wanna know how
super fucking hard.
It is, because you have to look in the mirror, literally look in the mirror, and then be like, just look, I'm just not that person.
Right.
And literally, I had to go through it, and I'm not going to be the only person that had to go through it. You got to go through it, and when you realize, once you go through that, and once you get that conversation out with yourself, you're not going to sound crazy,
right.
But once you get that out, you feel better, because you start to realize, like, okay, well, this is the shit I don't like, this is shit I do need, this is shit I don't need, and then you start to, and that's where I feel like the self-worth comes in, because you start to realize the shit that was hurting you, that you were pretending that it wasn't, start to realize it's not good for you, because everything that you thought was good for you, it's not good for you.
I don't know, maybe it's just because, like, I learned my self-worth like young by people that were like around me. Like, my mom would constantly tell me shit. Also due to the fact that she was like a single mom, so learning self-worth and her telling me certain shit had stuck with me. That's 1. 2, I already had examples of men in my life that were either married or, had girlfriends that like treated them amazingly. You know what I mean? So like, that's something that I always like admired and something I always wanted. So if it wasn't of something good or something of value, something that wasn't pushing me forward, like, you wasn't sticking around for much longer. Even now, you're not sticking around for much longer. So
some people is sticking around for years.
Talking about your friend?
No, I'm talking about this in general. I'm not talking about,
all right.
I'm just talking about in general. But,
Can't do it. If you toxic, if you're not for me, you're not sticking around. You don't get in this vicinity.
Love to see it.
And that's a boundary. See how easy that is?
It's not that easy though. We're talking about it, but it's not that
It's
easy.
easy to talk about
It's
it.
easy. Like, you just gotta want to do it.
It's easy to talk about boundaries, but to actually set them is the hard part for certain people.
I don't. Yeah, for certain.
But we're built different. Everybody is not built like
Everyone's
us with
mental
this.
isn't
Exactly.
there to
Everybody doesn't have the
be
same
like,
confidence
okay.
boost that we have.
You think like that because that's how you think.
Exactly.
So you be like, oh, I can do it. Well, what's wrong with you? And it's like, and they're not there.
Yeah, stop doing the silly shit.
They're not there.
I definitely had
You know how many
girlfriends.
stupid people I know?
Right.
Come on, yo. Come on, yo.
I'm keeping it being.
I know a lot too. I can't even.
You know how many stupid people I know?
You know how many conversations I wanted to hang up on because it's like, man, look.
I don't do it no more, bro. I'm too old for it now. I'm like, listen, we done had this conversation before.
Now, you
I told you what you need to do. Goodbye. That's it. That's how the conversation goes.
Absolutely.
I definitely had friends say to me like, "Oh, I wish I had like the self-confidence or like the push or drive that you have to like not deal with bullshit." And I'm like, yeah, like snap it into fucking place. Like,
You gotta speak
what is
to
the
you.
problem?
But see, people don't want to take the first step in doing that is getting rid of the problem. And a lot of the problem is the person you're with. That's the problem, but they don't want to get rid of the
problem. You can start thinking a little bit more.
Yeah,
They
get
think a
rid
little
of
bit
the
more clearly.
problem.
They
They don't want to get rid of the problem. The problem want to stay right here.
She gonna get right one day. She gonna get right one day. They're not.
They're
No.
Not till they want to.
I'm giving up on
And
that.
a lot of times they're never gonna do it.
It's not your responsibility to wait for these people to get right.
No.
It's not. Stop trying to fix people. That'll solve half your problems right there. Stop trying to fix people.
They can't stop trying to fix people. You're too easy.
It ain't easy.
For them it is. For them it is. Instead of getting a person that's already fixed, they want to get a fixer-upper.
Hey, listen.
So it's easier to them because that to them
Is everybody fixed?
no, not to the fullest. But if you see a person that's mentally got they, spiritually and like they got a good aura about, you be like, you know what? Nah, give me that fixer up. He's like, people like, why?
The great Bob Proctor always said, certain people work on certain frequencies. And everyone's frequency isn't on the same level. Some people are up here, some people are down here. So if you're a person that's in the middle or up here, you're dealing with somebody down here, it's like,
It's not gonna work.
or if you're somebody it's not gonna work. If you up here,
you're not really looking for somebody right here.
Hey man, listen.
You shouldn't be.
You shouldn't be.
You should vibe higher than something, you know what I mean? But
shouldn't be. Sometimes situation happens.
no, ain't no
I've been
situation.
there.
And sometimes situations happen. You do some dumb shit, and you're like, why did I give it this person? Why did I do this? Why did I do that? We've all been in situations
Super
like,
quick.
I'm like, wow, that was just a complete waste of time.
Yeah.
And we've all been in it, no matter how, because as you gradually get up there, things change. You wouldn't do the shit that you do now back then. You get older, you get more smarter and things like that, and get more wiser. So, once you get up there, you can't be hanging out with people. Be up there I feel like that with my friend group.
Happens in friend groups.
I don't have any
It
friends.
happens with family members. It happens
I was
with
saying the
loved
same thing. I've
ones.
seen motherfuckers go on social media talking about my circle, small motherfuckers, and snake me and all that shit. I'm like, I can't relate. I really can't.
Yeah, because I don't let a motherfucker do that to me. Like,
Everybody around me solid.
word up.
I had that stuff going on when I was younger.
Yeah, because when you're younger, and that can play with these boundaries too. In self, where when you're younger, everybody want to be everybody's friend. Then when you start to realize everybody's not everybody's friend.
That's like your parents always told me.
Yeah, don't everybody eat your friend. Why do you think I don't invite everybody on my fucking? Look, as a kid, my mom had a strict rule: don't have everybody at my house. Right. And as a kid, I never understood that shit until I got older because my mom knew niggas ain't shit. Like my mom know people ain't shit. Shout out to Tina, OG.
Yeah, shout out to Tina,
OG.
Yeah, that's some real shit, though.
Oh, that ass. It was like Alcatraz prison in ain't nobody coming over.
It was different like that. See, my house was everybody was over here. But for the most part, it was a solid group of people that was over there going up there. Everybody was at my fucking house.
Yeah, I know. His dad used to yell at us like we was his kids.
I mean, you gotta look at this. 5 motherfuckers. with different age groups, with all different type of friends, all living in the same.
I really got
neighborhood.
yelled at by your dad, yo. Like I was his son.
Bro, you know my dad shout out. Like,
He'd be like, "Don't be afraid to help too." I was like, "All right, Mister." I got you.
that's when you know you really failing when you kid.
I got yelled at. I got yelled at. I knew I was
I used to
blessed.
get yelled at by my people, friends' moms too. Let you come to that house and not say. Oh, so you just don't got no man to try no.
So we don't talk, huh? Tell your friend to go outside.
Tell him to go outside and come back. Try to see. Oh man, we grew up different, yo.
Yeah. But it shows when when you dating, it's that respect. Like you go back to it, it's that respect. That respect. Like if you can respect a friendship, you can respect a relationship. I feel like because it all plays hand in hand. Everything goes hand in hand.
She was different back in the day.
Cause you see how motherfuckers treat their friends, and you see how they treat their girls. It's, you know what I mean? Like it's the same shit. Like motherfuckers don't know how to treat people. No.
The crazy thing is, there used to be this old saying. It's like, date somebody, see how somebody treat their mom, and that's how you get determined if you want to date them. But I don't know.
I don't think that's because I hear some people be talking to their mom crazy. Some people be talking to their parents crazy.
I can't even say that. Sometimes the mom's a problem.
I don't know who said that.
Sometimes the mom's a problem. That was something probably like back in the day that you could, probably get.
I always say how people treat you in front of like other people and like their friends. Like, that's how
People could be phony in front of their friends and treat you like shit behind doors, so I don't even mean nothing.
Yeah, that is true.
You all right, babe? Let's go. Let's go with the group of friends. Come back home, they slap you across the face, slap you across the fucking room.
Just like in the movies. That's all Tyler Perry movies.
Just saying.
Yeah, for real. Like,
it don't matter. It does not matter how they treat you in front of their friends or their family, because they can treat you like shit in private. I need you to treat me with respect outside this house and inside this house.
Get that look from across the room. Get that Ike Turner look from across the room.
What you doing over there? Oh man. Anything else?
No, I think that wraps it up.
Anything
else?
Nothing over here.
Okay, trying to go to sleep.
I said my piece.
She's trying to go to sleep. She like, I wish this nigga shut up. I see them eyes darting across.
Go ahead.
Oh shit. But y'all already know what to do, man. Like, comment, share, subscribe. On YouTube, hit the notification bell. It'll give you all the notifications when the videos drop. Thanks again for all the continued support for those that support. Blah, blah. Can you want to add anything?
Know your boundaries, respect yourself, love yourself, know yourself, and know your worth.
I don't think it's getting no better than
Sounds
that.
like some neo soul shit.
It sounds like it should be like
Give me that clip and let me just post that somewhere.
You gotta copyright this shit first.
I'll try to edit that clip for you.
Yes, and end it with that clip. That was good.
And then we gotta end it with our cash register, so we can't end it with that. But
Cash register.
Catchphrase.
Until next time, this is Jay.
This is B.
This has been Lit Logic. Catch y'all next time. Peace.
Bye, guys.
I think there's another fucking